This woman named Kelly used this man's thread to speak about medical misogyny. First, let's look at the man's original tweet that she's commenting on. Tim says, I got a vasectomy 26 years ago, and here's what I noticed. There were no protesters, no one trying to get me to change my mind, no unnecessary medical scans, and no 48-hour waiting period. It's like I was trusted to make my own medical decisions. And that is true because, number one, it looks like he is a white man. So you can understand that men are definitely in control of their own bodies typically. And he's a white man on top of that. So it's understandable that he's able to actually advocate for himself without the unnecessary hassles that women go through. Now let's look at Kelly's thread. She says, when I was 21, I was told that pregnancy could and probably would unalive me and that I was likely infertile. I asked to have my tubes tied and was told, you're too young. You may change your mind and want kids. So she was told that that it possibly could take her out, but they still would not help her because the medical misogyny is baked into the cake. First off, this was devastating news at such a young age. I had stage 4 endometriosis, a tipped uterus, adenomyosis, and other health issues that made pregnancy unlikely and dangerous. I was told in the event that I became pregnant, they would have to recommend termination. Smamortion would also be risky to my health, though less risky than carrying a pregnancy to term. Given the threat, it seemed perfectly reasonable to request a more fail-safe method of birth control, tubal ligation. I was having laparoscopic surgery anyways to try to remove some of the endometriosis, so they were literally already going to be operating. Tying my tubes was a negligible risk compared to the rest of the surgery. Imagine my shock when I was informed they wouldn't do it because I might change my mind and want kids. I asked them whether my changing my mind would change my prognosis or their recommendation. Nope, they would still recommend termination. Understand how this makes no sense. This was the first time I truly understood how deep misogyny and patriarchal values ran in medicine. My theoretical ability to bear children, whether I wanted them or not, and whether it was safe or not, was more important than my health and my life. It was infuriating. An IUD wasn't an option for a myriad of reasons, so I was stuck on hormonal birth control that I didn't tolerate well. I was also getting sicker from the endometriosis and the adenomyosis, and it quickly became clear a hysterectomy would be the best for me. Given doctors weren't willing to entertain a tubal ligation, you can only imagine how they felt about a hysterectomy. Same tired arguments about how I could change my mind. I was too young. What if I met a man who wanted kids? Blah, blah, blah. I got these responses from male and female physicians, all of whom were willing to let my health significantly deteriorate rather than make me barren, none of whom listened to what I wanted to do with my body. I continued to push for surgery because I knew it was what I needed and was forced to undergo multiple psych evaluations. I heard everything from, don't you want to be a mother, to what if you meet up the man of your dreams and he leaves you because you can't have kids? How is it appropriate to ask any woman these questions, let alone a woman who has been told repeatedly that pregnancy would put her life in jeopardy? It was as though they thought something was wrong with me because I didn't want to risk my life for a hypothetical baby. I firmly told them that no, I didn't want to be a mother. I was barely healthy enough to care for myself, that if I changed my mind, I would happily consider adoption. They sneered and said, you may want biological children. Many women do. In response to my theoretical dream man who wants to have a baby with me, I told him if he was really the man of my dreams, he wouldn't care if I was barren. If he cared, then he wasn't the one. That got me fast-tracked to another psych evaluation. When I started dating someone, I brought him with me to meet the gynecologist in hopes he could change her mind. Instead, they asked him to sit through an inquisition where he had to repeatedly assure them he wouldn't leave me for being unable to procreate. The experience was infuriating, especially considering the tenuous state of my health. I was in and out of ERs with severe anemia and hypotension, off work repeatedly because I couldn't get off the bathroom floor. Yet I was somehow supposed to want to become a mother. Had my boyfriend wanted a vasectomy, no one would have batted an eye. As Tim pointed out in the original post, men are simply trusted to know what's best for their bodies. Yet here I was being told I couldn't possibly make a sound choice for my own health and well being while simultaneously being pushed to raise a child. Even at 21, it struck me as odd. They thought I was good enough to parent, but not enough to make my own health decisions. The hysterectomy eventually happened, albeit as an emergency due to severe blood loss. Even then, they kept saying, "Are you sure you understand you won't be able to have kids?" All I understood in that moment was I felt like nothing more than an incubator. We need to respect women more. We are just as capable of making choices for our health as men. We don't all want to have children, and not all of us are capable of having children. It doesn't make us less than. The way I was treated left me with significant medical trauma and a general distrust of doctors because at no point did I really truly feel they had my best interest at heart. I'm more than my fertility, more than my ability to be someone's girlfriend, wife, mother, more than my disabilities. I'm a whole person who had hopes and dreams, which were being actively discouraged by their reckless refusal to give me the medical care I needed. My sincere hope is that in time, this will never happen to any young woman, that they will be treated equally with men and allowed to choose for themselves what they want to do with their bodies, that they will be believed, trusted, and respected in all the ways I wasn't. Imagine these doctors, these people that go through all of this clinical work, they learn all of this stuff, they take an oath to do no harm, but they would be willing to make this woman, not give this woman the care that she needs because of a hypothetical baby that's not here, for a hypothetical man. They are more willing to they care more about this hypothetical man than the woman that is right there in her office. Understand that sexism and racism are baked into the cake of this country and many of the institutions of this country, of the world where patriarchy rules. All right, then. Let's segue to another topic. I know I typically do Reddit threads as a whole video in itself, but this was sent to me as a tweet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Um, this is another thing. Proceed with caution. The trad wife or the stay-at-home wife could go very well into poverty if they're not on it with the plans B, C, D, E, F, G, and all of that. She says, Assalamu alaikum. I'm a married woman of 33 years of age, have three kids aged 13, 12, and 9. My husband got married again to a second wife who is 25 years of age, and she is very beautiful and prettier than me and very well educated than me. And she reverted to marry my husband. And since he got married, he stops having intimacy with me and flinches from a mere hand touch. He ignores me most of the time, and my in laws are supporting him all the way and painting me a villain. If I brought equal rights subjects between wives, subject I okay, painting me a villain if I brought equal rights subjects between the wives. I can't leave him because I'm not financially independent or not very educated to support myself, and I have three daughters to take care of, which I am afraid will be affected by my decision of leaving him. And I'm afraid of the new wife. If the new wife gives birth to a son, which my in laws and husband wants desperately, since I got married, he will leave me hanging or divorce me. I don't know how to deal with my feelings and sorrows. Any help, any helpful, kind words or advice will be appreciated. And furthermore, my husband has been caught having affairs 6 times before he got married for the second time. So it's been a journey with him, and my mental health is very much affected by 16 years of marital abuse, physical and mental. As more and more women share their stories about how they are financially abused or mistreated in marriage, please know and understand why the marriage rates will continue to go down and why the birth rate will continue to plummet. Because women have got to see what happens when they put all of their eggs into a man, into one basket. And this is the reason why feminism is a thing, because women see that they have to be financially independent or something like this could happen, because the trad wife to poverty pipeline is a real thing. I hope this lady is able to get out, but how do you do that if you are uneducated and have no career experience? All right, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about these two threads. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. All right, we got another good discussion. Look at this name right here. The future is feminist. Now, she says, every single time it's women that have to show up for other women that have made nonsensical patriarchal decisions. Got added to a group where we have to raise money for an old friend who last year became a widow with 3 kids. Her in-laws and family have left her to her burden. And that's one of the things, is like, you can have an amazing husband, but people do expire early. Some people do lose their jobs or become disabled, get harmed at work, can't work for some particular reason, get laid off. If you have put all of your plans on a man, it is silly. Women have got to stop doing this. But let's finish this. She says, we haven't spoken in a decade because I told her being a housewife was a very stupid decision. She got married after NYSC, and her husband told her to sit at home, and she agreed. We all told her it was wrong, and she cut us off. Now, in the midst of this economy, we have to bear her. Every single money that left my mother is for a woman somewhere who bought a patriarchal fairy tale at youth, who have been submissive and obeyed and believed it will save her. Now, as I get older, my money is leaving me to support women like this. I do not like it. I resent it. At some point, though, women have just got to put up a boundary, but not all women are going to do that. Women do typically form a community, so she's probably going to begrudgingly give something. Okay, so this person, Theto, says, maybe just don't help her then. I don't know. I feel like you are making a lot of sense, but she is in that situation right now and needs your help. But if you feel so frustrated and resentful about it, maybe don't help. Gijo says, have loads of mates in uni who were actively looking for men like these. We argued against it and they made me feel like I'm dull. Now things are different. Even the ones who are financially okay are unhappy or unfulfilled. Some are just bitter. Most of them were book smart. Fun Size says, so then don't do it. Gijo says, saw a post today where someone was actively advocating that men who leave via a no-fault divorce must give 100% of assets to their wives, because she sacrificed education and career to raise his family. I asked, why did she sacrifice education and career? Forced? Didn't she make that call? Insane. Now, some women are actively making this call. Some women do go to college still to get that MRS degree. Some women are born and indoctrinated into this. Some are actively making this decision. Isabel Booley says, I hear you, but we can still help people even if they didn't listen to us, without saying, I told you so, and without judging their past actions. Not to say it absolves them of any accountability for their actions, but imagine the people who are helping you saying they have to bear with you. This person just says, leave the group a beg. Sometimes people have to kind of face the consequences of their action, but sometimes, you can give some without doing, like, just to give a jump start, because some people do need a hands up or a hand out in order to get up on their own. I'm on the fence with this. Obviously, I am vacillating back and forth, but it is a judgment call based on how much you even have to give. F says, size in extending grace. Mawu says, you shouldn't do it if you don't want to be honest, but I also understand the need to, as a woman, even if you don't like it. See, that's where I am. Chimdima says, if I begin to speak, I am weary. Dio says, patriarchal decisions, her in-laws and family have left her. What even is the correlation here? Are her in-laws all men or what? Or are you just assuming it is the duty of the men in the family to take care of her? People don't understand, just because you are a woman, you could still be indoctrinated into a patriarchal system. It happens. We all live and are impacted by this system. This woman says, this is exactly what's happening to a friend's stepbrother. He died days ago and his widow had no business, no job, or no skill. She was a full-time housewife with 3 children. Now everyone expects her husband's stepmother to shoulder full responsibility. It's just crazy. They just need to saddle women with other women's decisions. A woman is always somebody else's, fallback space. And I don't know. This is the reason why I keep saying women need to have a plan B, C, D, F, G, L, M, N, O, P, all of the plans, because you just do not know. So I'm segueing into this tweet thread, and it just goes to show that women are simply looked at as servants, that we are born and we're just supposed to cook and clean and get into all of things that are service, typically to a man. But this person, Adarina Sola, is having a fake conversation. It says, him, washing clothes is very hard for me, and I give them to dry cleaners always. She says, me, oh my God, laundry is the chore I hate the most. I give my clothes to dry cleaners too, most times. She says, him, you're a lazy woman. Me, I don't like the lazy women. And I don't know what IDG, maybe I do, I don't know what that says. IDG stands for, because I don't know the language. But she says, I'm confused. She women aren't humans too, or maybe so women aren't humans too. But basically, men can dislike doing chores, but women cannot like doing chores because we are simply appliances. She says, I love the fact that some of you men find it hard to believe and feel like we lie about these things. Like we just really are supposed to love doing chores. They really don't listen to us. This man says, it's hard, but I don't see it that way because I'm also the same. And she's like, what? She's like, this man is like, I hate washing too. That's why I don't blame my fellow human. So he actually does see women as human. This woman, a Daisy, she retweeted that woman and made her own post. She says, that's how they called me one day, saying, him, what are you doing? Have you eaten? She said, me, I ordered food, so I'm waiting for it to get here. I was too tired to make anything. The man, I don't understand. She's like, what? Understand what? The man, why women spend money ordering food or eating out? You're a woman. You're meant to be in the kitchen. Why are you ordering food when you're supposed to cook? She's like, oh, awkward silence. I just remembered some things I have to sort out. I'll talk to you later. Maybe. Bye. She said, blocked, deleted the number, came back to Twitter to block the account too. God forbid, bad thing. Yes, because women are more than just a cook. Women are more than just a washing machine. We do want to do other things other than cook and clean and be an incubator bang maid. I am Thimmy says, by the words of their mouth, we shall know them. Crazy ass people. The boy who was dragged yesterday for not cooking for himself and his dad, because his mom and sister traveled, under his comment section, see the guys admitting that cooking is hard. Nonsense, people. But guys are allowed to not adult. Guys are allowed to not know how to cook and clean and do all that. Women are not, because we are put here and we're supposed to be happy servants. A Daisy says, very foolish lots. Now says, it's shocking how men still cling to these stereotypes. We all deserve to take care of ourselves in whatever way works best, whether that's cooking or ordering in. Glad you chose peace and blocked him. She's like, ASAP. Um, Nancy said, maybe we should start going around with banners that say, I know how to cook. I just feel like eating outside food, so they can just allow us to rest. Okay, Amma says, I wonder why people still think like this. Even some ladies do say things like this. And Daisy says, those ones are not okay. But this one made me chuckle. You would think women were born with kitchen utensils in their hands. And that's exactly what it seems like. People, FYI, PSA, LOL, WTF. We are not appliances. We are humans. And sometimes humans need to rest. Sometimes humans want to rest. Sometimes we just don't feel like doing it. Y'all better catch the memo. Catch the memo. All right, join the conversations. Let me know what you think about these two tweet threads. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.